Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be covering how we can go ahead and use our SMM Deal Finder to start finding individual businesses in a particular niche and reach out to them. Because it's cool to be able to find the businesses, but of course, the next part of the whole equation is reaching out, getting them to a call so you can close the deal. So today, I want to walk you through exactly how we do that within our agency so that you can do it for yours as well. So in our example today, I used to own a gym, so I like to use gyms in my examples. We're going to go ahead and search gyms in our niche finder. And I'm going to keep it local. I'm going to search here in Miami where I'm at. Now, you can use this for any type of business in any state, any city across the country. I just like this one for my examples. Now, that being said, with a click of a button, boom, the AI has gone ahead and found us every gym in Miami, which is pretty dang cool. And it also did it so fast. But the cool thing with this is not only do I get the name of the company and then also whatever it is they do, what categories they fall into, but I get contact information and their pixel information. So Metapixel, Google Analytics, and our TikTok pixels are tracked using the AI here. And whether or not they have these pixels or analytics installed kind of gives us a little bit of insight into what the company may or may not be doing when it comes to marketing. If they have a Metapixel or a Google Analytics or a TikTok pixel, they are more than likely running ads or at least tracking data on that platform. So again, it gives you a quick little preview into what it is that this company may be doing to go ahead and actually get people in the door. So it kind of gives you an idea whether or not there's somebody you want to offer. And for this example, I'm just going to use the top of the list here. We're going to go check out Hyperfit. Okay. Apparently, this is a gym here in Miami. And with a click of a button, I can go ahead and get all their contact information, all the things about them all in one spot here using AI. Again, pretty dang cool. So right here off the top, we do see that we have their website listed, we have their Yelp reviews, we have them on MapQuest, we have them on Groupon, which is like an affiliate site for gyms and many other different service-based things around the world. But then also I'm finding their Instagram, I'll be able to find their Facebook, any of their booking services. It's pretty dang cool what you can find with that one click of a button. But what do I want to do here now? Let's say that I am a agency that offers either paid advertising or UGC, user-generated content, right? One of the first couple things I'm going to want to look at is not only the website, so I'm going to go ahead and open a tab for that, but also I want to see their socials and what that's kind of looking like. So I did see their Instagram down here. Let's go ahead and open up their Instagram too, and let's go over these both to kind of see if I can't find some icebreaker material to check out to use in my messaging, because that's what we need. We need some icebreaker material, right? So I go to their website. Website looks pretty good as I land here on it. I do see they got a good above the fold picture here, which just means anything above where I'd have to scroll to see. Okay, so very good. I do see what they do now. They have a way to go ahead and book for them right away, which is pretty cool. Website seems pretty straightforward. We got some nice UGC from around the gym. I like that. Some good stuff here. I definitely think this is a solid website. They spent some time on this, so this is pretty good. But more importantly, since one of the pieces of my offer is UGC, I want to see what's going on there as well. So that's where we're going to be going next. But before I do that, I'm going to use a Google Chrome extension here. And I'm going to check out and make sure that all of our stuff for AI is picking up right. And it is. We do see that there is a Google Analytics pixel installed. So they're tracking traffic from Google, but they're not picking up anything from Facebook. They're not picking up anything from TikTok. And from what I can see so far on the website, doesn't look like they have a presence on either of those either, which definitely another thing we could point out to them, right? So let's go check out the socials and see what they have going on there. As I come to their Instagram, their bio could use some optimization, not the end of the world, but pretty solid. But it looks like they're very young in terms of a following here on Instagram. And when I say young, I mean like they're just not very developed, right? Very small amount of followers, very small amount of posts, following a ton, which isn't uncommon. But we would obviously have an opportunity to really get this business results because right now it looks like they've just kind of gotten off the ground. So let's take a little bit of a peek here, look at the content. And all in all, for the amount of followers they have, it seems like they do get some halfway decent engagement and halfway decent viewership on some of their content, which is good, but I wonder what the consistency is like. So let's take a little bit more of a peek here. This last post here is from October 18th of 2023. As this stands at April 23rd, it's been a while, right? So this is definitely somebody who could more than likely use some help in the UGC department, because it's been so long since they've ever attempted to be consistent with any type of user-generated content on their platform, which means they're missing out on a bunch of organic traffic. And for a small business, a small gym like this, that is crucial to growing the revenue and obviously being able to make more money, which is where we as marketers come to play, right? So again, In the process of this, I've gone ahead and I've figured out they're not running any paid ads traffic. Their website is good enough that if I did run some paid ad traffic to it, it should convert, but I would want to start this company off with UGC, and I'd like to focus here. So as I do this, I'm going to find a video or even a photo, it could be either or, that kind of shows off something cool about the gym, something about one of their products or their services, so that I can offer a compliment and ask a question. That's going to be my segue and my transition to get in the door so I can start talking to them eventually about what it is I'd like to do, which is help them make more money. All right, so let's check out a few of the videos here. Looks like in this one, we have some personal training going on, which is a very easy topic to start a conversation with the gym about. So I could take this, right, and I could send it using this button right here as a DM to the gym itself. And yes, you can be doing this from your own personal profile. If you have a business profile on Instagram that you want to do that from, you absolutely could. But all you're going to do is you're going to click that button, you're going to go to their DMs, and let's go ahead and type out a message here. So we see this is all about personal training. I want to keep this super duper informal, super duper straightforward, very casual. And the reason why I say that is the more formal you sound when you reach out to somebody, especially in this type of industry, the more expensive you sound. And the last thing you want to do before you're ever even able to offer any value to a customer is sound super duper expensive. So I'm going to enter in with a compliment and a question. So I would just start off the DM like, hey, Hyperfit, I saw this video of your training session and it got me missing my time in the gym. I was wondering, what do your PT packages look like? Do you offer more than just one-on-ones? Maybe some classes? Very simple, very straightforward, very to the point, and it also, to an extent, kind of paints you as possibly an interested customer, right? And I can tell you from experience, ladies and gentlemen, anybody who gets a message that could possibly turn them into, a conversation where they're going to make money, they're going to want to respond, especially if it's a smaller business like this. So they're going to see that, see you inquiring about PT or maybe some classes or what they look like and how they work. And they're going to go, yeah, I definitely want to get on and answer this, because in the end, they're thinking they're going to try and sell you something instead of you trying to sell them. And that's going to start the conversation. And whenever you ask this question, the response that's going to come back from this, I'm going to be honest, it's not super duper important, but you are going to use it to paint your next step into this. So they're going to say something trying to sell their services. Hey, it's awesome and it does A, B, and C, and we do 1, 2, and 3, and we are able to offer X, Y, and Z. All that information, truthfully, null and void. We don't even really need to concern ourselves with it, because the only response that we're going to come back to that is awesome. I'll have to check you guys out sometimes. Speaking of that, I was actually scrolling through your feed and noticed that you guys really don't post too often on Instagram. Why is that? Now, this question here is designed to paint you as just a concerned consumer, something that you're asking purely out of curiosity. And the reason why we want to do that is we still don't want to sound ultra salesy, but we do want to take the next step to being able to talk about how we can help them out, right? So we're going to ask them this to get them to acknowledge one of their issues, one of their things that's probably holding them back from getting more money in the door. And whenever this type of a question is asked, what usually comes back to you is the first pain point in the equation. So for most business owners, they're going to come back and say something along the lines of, oh, I'm just too busy doing ABC inside of the business. Oh, we had a guy for that and he left. It could be something about just, not really being good at content or knowing how to do that, etc. There could be a bunch of different things that come back here, but that's going to be the pain point that you're going to use to help kind of point out, well, hey, you know what? If you're too busy for it or you don't have the skills for it, I think you're leaving money on the table by not doing it at all. So let's see if there's not a way I can help you out, right? And for this next part of the example, I always say, especially if you're using Niche Finder and you're specializing down to one individual niche, what I do recommend is having an example business in that niche to use in the next statement. For the example, I'm just going to make up a business and call it ABC Gym, right? But you would find a example business that's doing really well on social media to use as your example in the next statement, right? So what I'm going to respond here after they say, let's pretend it's, oh, you know what? I wish I could dedicate more time to it. I've just been super busy doing everything in the gym. I really can't do it. Totally understand, right? What you're going to hit them with is this. Totally understand. Being a business owner, you probably have 300 things a day to do. That's a lot to handle. That being said, I know when ABC Gym started posting more, wow, typo, on their socials, they got flooded with more clients. So is that something you have ever considered getting some help with? Okay. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is what I call the pivot point. Okay. And in this pivot point is where pretty much the defining line of whether the conversation is going to continue or if you get left on red is going to be decided. Okay. Because this is the part where the sales flag gets risen on top of the mountain. Okay. And you're either going to have an objection sent to you in response to this, or you're going to get left on red. And quite honestly, as much as it sounds crazy, you want the objection because the objection continues the conversation and you can overcome an objection. If they leave you on red or ignore you or block you, it's game over, right? But this is the defining line. This is where that happens. So if we get this left on red, we move on. We're obviously going to have to message another prospect. But if we get our objection here, these are always related to either time, money, or knowledge. I'm too busy to care about it. I don't want to care about it financially because I know it costs me too much money, or I just don't even know where to find somebody for that. So let's say they come back with something along the lines of the most common one, which is, I know that stuff costs too much money. I don't want to do it. Okay. This is where we're going to start our never-ending deflection. Okay. And I call it a never-ending deflection loop because it's a consistent circle of, yeah, but until you get a yes or no answer. Okay. And yes, you do want a yes or no answer. Maybe is never where we want to land. Maybe is no dressed up to look like something else. Okay. And maybe makes us waste our time. So we want the yes or no. And this is where it may come off a little bit pushy, but this is what you need to do in order to go ahead and actually land these actual calls and land sales. So they're going to say something along the lines of, oh, well, you know, that stuff costs too much money. You know, I couldn't really invest in that. I get it. I'm sure there's marketers out there that probably do cost an arm and a leg. But if I was able to find you someone who could be super affordable and help you get more of those clients through the door using social media, is that a conversation worth having? Because again, what we're doing here is saying, yeah, I totally get it, but it doesn't matter because I might be able to help you anyway, right? Because again, for some of these people, they're not going to understand the value until you actually sit down and have a conversation with them and show them a little bit about who you are and what you can do and how you can help the business grow and make more money. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing more that businesses care about than making more money. So this right here agrees with their objection. It acknowledges their objection, but then it deflects it and pushes forward. And you can repeat this regardless of whatever it is in terms of the objection. Here it's like, hey, you know, money. hey, totally get it. I understand. I'm sure there's marketers out there who do cost an arm and a leg, but if I was able to find you somebody who could be super affordable, but get you more clients in the door using social media, is that a conversation worth having? Let's say they say, oh, I'm just too busy. You know what, man? I totally understand. Again, like we talked about earlier, you're a business owner. You have like 350 things to do a day. But if I could even get 10 minutes of your time to help at least get you pointed in the right direction, so maybe you get help a little bit later, I mean, is that a conversation worth having? Is that something you'd be willing to do? Oh, well, I have to talk to my business partner. You know what? I totally understand. I want your business partner to be there too. They're part of the equation and part of the decisions that go ahead and make the business roll, right? So, I mean, is there a time that works best for the two of you to be able to sit down again, just for 10 minutes, get you pointed in the right direction? And in that way, even if you decide to take the help later down the line, at least you know what your options are. Does that sound fair? You just keep butting them pretty much to death until you get your yes or no answer. And it should end on either one of those. Yes, I'll take the call, or no, I'm not interested. Please go away. And when they say no, accept the no and move on. Don't try to get wild and crazy with them. Just take the no and leave it as it is. But I hope you took some great value out of this training. If this is stuff that you would like more help with or anything like that in terms of how to actually do the research to go actually reach out to these customers and get them on the phones, et cetera, et cetera. We do have a program where we can help you out with that. It's called the Rockstar Marketing Private Group. If you do want more help with that, all you're going to have to do is obviously click down at the link that's going to more than likely be below this video here, and you can schedule a call to talk to our team and see what that looks like so we can help you guys out. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the training and I hope you have a great rest of your day.